I was thinking back and I was like, oh shit, this is going to be kind of fun because I've been learning more and more about you, kind of in anticipation of this, but also more so after you guys left BuzzFeed. But I've definitely been guilty of villainizing the Try Guys in the past.
Oh, I mean, you are more than welcome to. Yeah. I mean, I don't hold my previous employer in any sort of negative light because we were contractually obligated to be what we were. But I certainly can understand the criticisms.
But no, it wasn't really about so part of the, if you said it was like about the content or views, that's probably like some jealousy in there, right? I think that there's always going to be a little bit of that, or you're just like, oh, it's this corporate thing. But I remember specifically, we were up for, I took it way too serious. I feel like it was like 3 years ago. We were up for Audience Choice of the Year for the Streamies.
Oh.
And anytime I promoted, I was like, guys, you have to help us beat the Try Guys. They're BuzzFeed. Don't support the corporation.
Yeah.
But no, but then the more that I found out about you guys, I was like, I really like these guys. Especially your story is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
Not to completely shit on everybody else.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. I certainly sort of stumbled upon digital content really out of the blue. I was really focused on becoming a filmmaker, doing writing and directing, went to USC Film School and was sort of doing the hustle and grind here in LA, waitering, directing music videos, commercials.
Oh, wow.
Didn't have a full-time job for 5 years. And so BuzzFeed Video happened to start. I knew someone who worked in the New York office and ended up being one of the first video producers there.
Oh, wow.
When it was like not a viral star thing. It was clearly, do you have hands and a voice? And so that's how I came into the fold there.
Did you go in pre-Zay Frank then?
No, Zay Frank was there, yeah. I think there was about maybe a year where they're kind of figuring things out, but I really entered along with the other Try Guys who I'm most known for.
Sure.
In regards to a group, we went there when it just at the beginning was starting to make an impact online with views, and certainly was still in a very cool experimental phase prior to being more talent forward.
Yeah. Hearing that you went to film school definitely makes sense. I watched it again this morning, your video on all the effort that went into your coming out video.
Yeah.
And that's wild. I don't know if I've put that much effort into anything, but I think it also probably speaks to how important it was to you.
Yeah. Well, I think effort is relative, right? So I think for me, what's interesting is that the exhaustion I feel from something like that kind of combines a lot of artistic disciplines that I have backgrounds in. It was an emotional effort, but certainly for work, I thrive on being able to be in a more traditional filmmaking space. I like the stress and the hectic nature of a film set and sort of running that. But I certainly feel maybe more stressed doing basic YouTuber things.
Really?
Yeah, I'm terrible at self-promotion.
Well, it sounds like I've seen some of your stuff where you hate it. It's not that you're bad at it. It seems like you hate it.
Yeah, I think I've been able to sort of channel some of my like natural disdain and self-hatred into a more or less a character that people can relate to. But certainly a lot of my natural inclinations as someone who was very othered and dark growing up, never imagined that I would be in any sort of the sense of the word like authentic or relatable. But certainly bringing it back to BuzzFeed where I used to work, that really flipped my entire journey on its head, where suddenly I guess everything I did was considered relatable. Although that's such a opaque, vague word now to be using for anything on.
But do you feel like BuzzFeed relatability? I know that something that you've kind of, what word did you use? It was something make the content digestible. Do you feel like that was? Oh no, I saw.
Yeah, no, it's good. It was. I think it comes more naturally to others, and I think that was also a time online where, those corporate entities, as you called them, which it's true. There was that weird time, even like 2014, where it was this question of is BuzzFeed versus Gawker, who has the soul of the internet? What's the tone in which the young millennials are moving forward?
Yeah.
And company culture, at the very least, I always honor what happened with BuzzFeed as they prized diverse voices. They were really pushing that sort of aspect, which was fantastic. However, to sort of put a bow on every video and to sort of have to like Mr. Rogers your way out of any sort of content was not second nature to me. It was, I personally have a strong nihilistic viewpoint of the world. Maybe it's because I'm a Capricorn, or maybe just because I'm angry inside. But I certainly learned that your own tone or your negative experiences or outlooks don't equate to being unrelatable. It's just a different type of relatability.
Okay.
And so it was a very hard tough learning ground for me to understand that there is an elegant way to reach an audience that wants to connect to that side of you without being a total dick, you know?
Do you feel like, so if you think of relatability while you were at BuzzFeed versus relatability now that you guys are on your own, what's the two differences, or the difference between the two pieces of content?
Yeah, I think that one, having full ownership of our company as the Try Guys is great, because on every level we are the final gatekeepers of what goes out. So should I stand as firm behind something or behind even a comment in a video I make, then we can make that happen. We can make sure that people see what we want on screen. Sure. And I think when it was with BuzzFeed, they're they are a company, and therefore standards and regulations are in place. So everything had a certain amount of red tape, which I think it just comes with jobs.
Sure. Yeah.
So I wouldn't fault them. I would just fault corporate structure. And hey, maybe one day in 5 years, the Try Guys company is going to be bullshitting some employees about like, you got to make this, you got to fucking take off your pants and act like a goofball or whatever. But certainly I would hope that we learned enough where we keep things,
in 3-4 years, there's going to be that a wave of why I left the Try Guy videos for people that you've hired.
I can't wait for that. I would revel in that. I would find that so fascinating.
That's when you're like, I made it.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like a company destroying, you're like, we did it.
Yeah, no, I think the other big thing is that the biggest change that happened when we left and started our company was we didn't realize, everything we did at BuzzFeed was self-produced, and, we owned it in essence of who created it, and certainly using ourselves as the on-screen talent. But we weren't aware of the YouTube community at large outside of that, because even, as you said, at the Streamies, we also felt a certain like separation from everyone. Sure. Because we weren't sure how the corporate entities and the talents that came from there were being regarded. And that separation also reverberated through how we sort of communicated in the comment sections, or who we could see in person. We were very distant from it. There was an arm's length, because, when you work for a company, it's good to have those types of rules in place to avoid anything becoming too intimate or too personalized.
Sure.
But when we left, then suddenly we were aware of the impact we had made, and became way more in control with being in direct communication with people who actually followed us or learned from us or wanted to see more from us. So I think that's been probably the greatest benefit, is understanding the sort of true worth of, I think, what a lot of us do online, which is what is the impact and how is that actually helping people who are watching in some way, whether they're laughing or they're learning or connecting with me as like a gay person of color.
Sure.
I didn't get to read that so directly when I worked for a company. And now it's a huge part of my job to honor that and be more directly communicative with people who take their time to watch what I do.